Some real, second half adversity. Obviously, felt great about, the 24 assists on 30 field goals. From an offensive standpoint, I thought the threes to start the second half, just got some unbelievably clean looks at three that we just kind of missed and went cold in the second half from there. Obviously the disappointing things are, we didn't have the disruption at the defensive end. We allowed them to get way too comfortable. And then the rebounding thing was, that rarely happens to us. So we got out of character on some things and credit those guys. I mean, they've got some really good one-on-one players that made some tough one-on-one shots. They made 27 field goals with 6 assists. So it speaks to their ability to really, make tough shots.
We're talking about the impact of your bench, especially during that run. I think Andre might have been the only starter out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We've been kind of talking to, Haas, like knowing that, he could give us that and more. Just with that bulldog type of approach, and he was just a disruptor out there. He really changed the tenor, in terms of getting after, their guards and creating some havoc. And obviously Joey, from an offensive standpoint, I took Donovan there. It was just great to see a guy with, even though his numbers weren't great, he bothered some things, and obviously his mouth looked strange with all the blood. But yeah, I mean, those 3 guys I thought were the difference in that stretch. It was good to be in some huddles where where there was a little soul searching and some character, reach down deep stuff there.
Questions?
Dan, did you learn anything about anybody in particular? You said the beauty of this team is it could be anybody any night, and it was kind of maybe the guys you wouldn't expect tonight stepping up the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought we couldn't have played worse on the backboard. Couldn't have, did a worse job at the defensive end of the court. We had to reach down deep, and we felt we dealt with the second half deficit. We proved we're not front runners, and still ended up winning the game by double figures, a conference game at home. You look at them, and they're 5-7 coming into the game, and just it tells you how tough the league is, how tough college basketball is. They got some really talented players there. Their starting 5 is really, really a talented group.
I mean, I know you figured Joey could come in and contribute for you guys. I mean, has he surprised you a little bit? I mean, he seems so relaxed out there when things weren't going well, and obviously made some huge plays.
Yeah, Joey's got the, he's got a high level of self-belief. I mean, he wants in, and he's not afraid to take important shots, and he's got certainly a knack, and obviously, it helps him that he's, that he's playing with good players that, put him in really, I think ideal positions. Again, 24 assists on 30 field goals. And some high-level stuff from the offensive end of the court. The defensive rebounding. This was great for us to happen to us because we did get away from our identity today. We realized in the first half that we could score easily, and we got dragged into that human nature complacency thing.
Dan, for Andre tonight, only 8 points, but he seems to control the game in so many other ways, especially in that run, pushing the ball up the court. How critical was his performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he, obviously the discrepancy, we weren't sure if he got his 4th foul. They called it on him, but then I didn't know what was going on there. We could ill afford to get him off the court, because he's, there's no one that defends like him in the country. He's a completely different type of weapon at that defensive end. No one does in the country what he does at that end. And he took, today could have potentially even been like a triple-double game for him. He had the lob versus the zone that he kind of bobbled it. He had the baseline cut when Adama found him where he stepped out of bounds. I think he had other opportunities to, to get maybe even close to a triple-double today, that's how good he was.
Did you like the 33s? I mean, you said you got good looks, right?
These guys were wide open. I mean, it was hard. I mean, we weren't. I mean, first half, I don't know what we were. We 9 for 14 in the first half. 9 for I don't even know what it was. I mean, but the threes were wide open. It's tough. I mean, the Jordans were as clean as the first half. I mean, if he has just a pretty good shooting game, he probably ends 5 for 9 from 3. I mean, Alex, got some great looks in the second half too, and I thought maybe one or two of those weren't good ones, but I mean, guys were wide open and in rhythm.
Does a game like this come at a good time? Because when you return from the break, you've got some pretty tough games.
Yeah, I mean, this gives me some ammunition in really, getting to our identity, from a defense, that rebounding situation. You're thrilled to win again. You win by double figures in a home conference game, and we've set such a standard of how we've just kind of obliterated people that it just allows me to get to that messaging of, if we slip even a tick off of our identity, the defense, the rebounding, the domination on the backboard, the elite defense, things unravel. Things will start to unravel, and things started to unravel today until we showed our character.
Sir? Hi, great win. You talked about how rare it is for your team to get out-rebounded. Can you tell me how the Huskies were able to overcome something you guys aren't used to seeing the final box score?
Yeah, obviously, we played well offensively, and then the defense, in the last 10 minutes, 8 minutes, when it was time for us to decide how we wanted to feel going into the holidays, you can't afford to lose a home game like this today, and win the regular season, Big East championship. Losing a game like this at home comes back to get you in late February and March, and we responded.
From an opposing coach's view, Primo looks like he's going to be maybe a problem for other teams moving forward. Just talk about what he brought to the table for them tonight.
Yeah, really tough shot making. I mean, he made some incredibly tough twos. He's really hard to deal with. As a scorer. I thought we forced him into tough shots. The first one he got some easy at the rim early. He might have gotten another paint too. I mean, but in the end, he took 17 shots, and and he scored 19 points on the 17 shots. And we just want him to be tough twos, and that's about the best I think you could guard him, because he's a really tough shot maker.
One more day.
Just was it just a matter of magic words on you and Andre with those technicals, or?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like when Adama threw the pass underneath the basket, he was at the foul line, and there was a lot of talking in the game. I understand what Brian was doing, because Andre was teetering, and we can't devolve, myself, Andre, we can't devolve. We've got too much quality as a team to get so emotional during the game. And, there's a difference between passion and emotion. We needed to keep our poise better. I did drop the magic word, but it was more of just saying that word. I didn't say it in direction. It just kind of went out into the air. And I don't know what Andre said.
Okay, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Happy holidays to, did you turn this off? Happy holidays to all of Connecticut. And again, congratulations to UConn football. I mean, unbelievable to do what Jim did with that program. I've been here watching that football program, kind of like in a parallel way, having to rebuild the program. For him to get them to a bowl game in year one is incredible. And they deserve every type of support, right? Both from a fan base and from a resource standpoint. You know, because you could build something special with that program because you got a guy that is a special coach. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.